Good morning, it's Monday. Welcome back from the long holiday weekend. Welcome back from all the BS that our boy Super Mario did last week. But that's trading, and that's why we said that we wanted to be more or less on the sidelines last week and let the markets play out. We had a week that was fairly wild and fairly volatile, gapping up Monday, selling off late in the day, but still up on the day, gapping up Tuesday, only to close lower. Gapping lower Wednesday, only to close higher, and then Thursday, although the markets were closed, Super Mario came out with his stuff, and I'll talk about that later in the week, and the futures market soared on Thursday, although the equities were closed, but the futures were soaring, and of course the European markets, which were open, were flying higher. And then of course we had the Friday jobs number, which, you know, at 195, I don't think is any big deal. I don't think that's anything to celebrate, but the markets took it as great news. But if you watched the tape action, you saw a market that rallied hard, sold off, and went negative on the day, only then to close on the highs of the day. But it was an interesting trade, and you know, I said this to Betty Lou on the radio. I did a radio interview with her on Friday. So, you know, it's amazing that people are hoping for bad news because they think it's good news. And again, that goes back to relating to the wealthy that can benefit, Mr. Potter, who can benefit from what's going on, and not us average guys who have no benefit from what happens when they do what they do. So, bottom line is, we're in big sweeping congestion. You know, the fireworks are there. That's what we looked for. Coming into this week, we now start our earnings season, and we'll address that, you know, later in the week, because the real earnings season doesn't really start till next week. But because of history and tradition, today Alcoa kicks it off, and you know, but of course, what do we care about a $90 stock that hasn't moved in who knows how long it's been? But we're really in big sweeping congestion. You know, very key levels here. But if you look at the big picture and you now stretch the chart out, you can see pretty good information. 1560 in the downside, 1680 on the upside, and right now we're at about halfway back, a shade over halfway. I don't look for anything too great here. I think now it's going to depend on, you know, where the earnings go from here and what happens. I'm not a bull, I'm not a bear. I'm going to wait to react to the markets. They have violated some of the levels that I was looking for on the upside. But of course, some of the stocks we're watching have been continuing to do what we thought they were going to do. But again, you know, you have to let the markets trade. Volume was extremely thin, but technically, you know, they weren't horrible. So you have to learn when it's time to go ahead, okay, step away and look what's on. There's a lot of information going on with Egypt, which I want to discuss this week. What's happening with oil. So there's a lot of stuff happening in a market that's supposed to be quiet. And we said a couple of weeks ago that we were looking for some volatility, and we're getting it. So now we're going to have to capture and find the areas in which we want to get involved in and find that right volatility. So, you know, let's see how they trade out. Let's watch them today. Let's look for the news. We got some news. We got FOMC this week, so we'll discuss that. But for Monday, the Bubba Show, remember, if you want to hear me on the radio, libertyexpressradio.com every day, 5 to 6 Eastern Time. Would love to have you on the AJO Options call tonight. Average Joe Options. Email me at todd@averagejoeoptions.com. For Monday, the Bubba Show. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.